kindness, altruism, benevolence. These powerful words characterize Albertans. Albertans have always been big-hearted, caring, and thoughtful. They have always shown compassion to those less fortunate. Beyond doubt, kindness is one of the most important parts of big Albertan soul. We know that kindness is a good for society and contributes to the overall health of the community. It's a pleasure to see the people of our beautiful province Alberta who are involved in their community. The kindness that resides in Albertans' hearts make the world a better place. We will show you how Albertans do their part to make life easier for others. We will show you how Albertans make other people smile. We will show you all those heroes who live in Alberta. And we will answer an important question: why are Albertans so kind-hearted? Many people have been displaced recently. Ukraine is one of the most conspicuous examples of people's sudden displacement. Our beautiful province, Alberta, has been accepting Ukrainian evacuees since February 2022. According to the statistics, the vast majority of Ukrainian refugees are women with children. Beyond any doubt, a refugee woman who ends up in a new country is completely lost and doesn't know what to do. The situation becomes even more complicated when children or seniors accompany this woman. Displaced, separated from their husbands, and desperate, these immigrant women need nothing but support. The magnitude of the plight suffered by women before, during, and after their displacement is overwhelming. Fortunately, Alberta has become a shelter for those displaced women and their families. Our province's initiatives have always been helping address the glaring gaps in women's protection. In this episode, we will hear the stories of those who show their big-heartedness and protect women in Alberta, including those women who are forced to flee their homes. In light of current events, these people are dedicated to helping women rebuild their lives, protecting them and their families, and preventing violence and exploitation often associated with displacement. Let's visit Making Changes Association. Making Changes Association supports women's growth and self-discovery that can enhance their self-confidence into a journey to sustainable livelihood and overall well-being. We will ask the center's executive director about all the work they are doing. We will also interview their clients to have a better understanding of how support is provided. The executive director of Making Changes Association, Lori James, willingly accepted our interview offer. Lori has played an important role in empowering women, those who identify as women, and teen girls, and helping them reach their full potential so that they can be successful in their lives. She will tell us how the center assists women in Calgary.
I'm Lori James, the Managing Director of Making Changes Association. We are a group of women helping women, those who identify as women and teen girls, in finding their employment and educational goals. We focus on empowering women and really want to make sure we are giving women a hand up versus a handout. We have 4 programs. Dress for Success Calgary and My Best Friend's Closet are our 2 clothing-based programs that help provide women and teen girls with the clothing that they need for their interviews, for their first day of work, for school, so that their outsides matches their spark and confidence on the insides. We have an employment readiness program called Employment Life Skills, and that focuses on getting new immigrant women ready for work in Canada and helps with job search and Canadian work culture. And then we have our Women in Technology program, which is a 6-month intensive program that provides women with full-stack web development training and practicum experience here in the Calgary IT. In 1981, a group of women identified that there were some individuals that were experiencing barriers, didn't have the clothing that they needed for their interviews and for their first day of work. So they started the walk-in closet, and from there it grew, where there were employment programs and other options for women to get them ready for school and for work. It is, at its core, inclusion is about meeting a woman where they're at. Everybody comes to us with a different story, with a different experience, with different goals. And our job is to really help respect and understand their story and their experience, hear what they've been through, hear where they want to go, and then make sure that our programs are meeting their needs, not the other way around. It isn't for the women to try to fit into our box. It's how do we help meet them where they're at. And it's great being around women who are also supporting women, because everybody's goal is just about lifting up and empowering. So women helping women, there is nothing more powerful than a group of women with a vision and a goal. And whether it is our 250 plus volunteers, whether it's our staff, our board members, committee members, the clients themselves, everybody is committed to helping raise each other up. We're also very lucky to be working in a community like Calgary, because there are wonderful organizations out there as well that augment the supports and services that we provide at Making Changes, and we are all stronger and better together, and that is very much the approach we take here at Making Changes. Dress for Success Calgary is focused on making sure that women have the tools that they need for employment. And by the clothing that they provide, the women come in for a 90-minute styling session with a volunteer, one-on-one, and they walk away with key wardrobe items so that they can go to the interview, that they can go to their first week of work and really feel confident. And that is key to starting a job that you can stay and succeed in. My Best Friend's Closet program is this wonderful program for teens in Calgary. Teens come in and they get a one-on-one styling session with a young volunteer, someone that they can relate to, and we help get them the clothing they need for school, for applying for a part-time job, for getting involved for extracurricular activities. It is so hard when you are in junior high and high school to feel like you belong. It gets extra tricky when you are new to Calgary, new to Canada. Maybe you're low income and the family just doesn't have the budget it needs to get the clothing that a teen may want. And so anything we can do to help a young girl feel confident, to feel like she belongs, increases the likelihood that she is going to show up for school, that she will volunteer, that she will get involved in extracurricular activities. So every little piece helps in building a young girl's confidence. Girls can be referred on their own. They can just reach out and book an appointment, and we get them in as soon as we can. They can also be referred. We have community agencies that will refer the girls. The different school counselors can refer the girls. The great thing for all of our programs is they are self-referral, so you don't have to rely on somebody else to get you connected. You can reach out directly. It depends on the program. For our closet programs, we're about a month out from, so 4 weeks for appointments. That can vary depending on which closet program and your a woman or a teen's availability for coming in. And then for our Women in Technology program, that runs every 6 months. So it is just a matter of catching the cohort when it is ready for its next intake session. And our Women in our Employment and Life Skills program is, we run that 5 times a year. So usually a woman can get in within 6 to 8 weeks to the next cohort. Women in Technology is this really dynamic and important program right now, especially in the Calgary market, where IT is growing, exploding. The industry just is constantly looking for new and dynamic talent, and our students really provide that. So over the 6 months, the women receive training in full stack web development and employment power skills. So conflict management, business communication skills. We work very hard, and the women work especially hard to have the training and the confidence to step into an IT position. And at the end, they do get a practicum with a company here in Calgary, so they are also building their local network, which is one of the things that is undervalued or underestimated as important as people are coming to Calgary. When you don't have a network, it can be really challenging to find work. And so that is one of our goals with the Women in Technology program, is to help build and expand the network so that they are constantly growing and learning and building those connections to help them as they move forward in their career. It is heartbreaking what is happening in Ukraine and at various locations around the world. We do see fluctuations in the clients that come through our doors. With Ukraine in particular, depending on the month in the program, we saw an increase of between 20 to 40% of our clients specifically from Ukraine. At our core, though, we really treat every client who walks through the door as unique and special. So regardless of where they're coming from or their experience, we really want to see and hear and respect their story. And that's where we start our work with them. Because our programs start with a trauma-informed approach, it is about understanding and respecting each woman's journey and their experience and when they're coming to us. We also appreciate that they may need supports beyond what Making Changes can provide. We work very closely with many other agencies in the Calgary region, so we can make the referrals that a woman may need or her family may need to set them up for success, mentally, physically, emotionally, economically, whatever that looks like for them. It truly is about the broader community and what we can do to help be that connection if we can't be that support. We rely heavily on clothing donations for our clothing programs, financial donations for all of our programs. We have over 250 volunteers. We could not deliver our programming without the support of our volunteers. So we just are grateful for any and all support that people can provide. Even just passing our agency name along to someone who you think may be needed, that is a help as well.
Oluchi has been the center's client since her arrival. Making Changes Association helped her a lot, and now she's ready to share her experiences with the center.
Okay, my name is Oluchi Obani. I'm from Nigeria. I came into Canada last year. I'm about 8 months now in Canada. So I had to think about what clothing would suit this weather and what clothing would suit the workspace here. So I got in contact with some friends from Nigeria who are working here and who have also benefited from Make Changes, and they referred me. So when I came, they are very warm and nice, and they are more like sisters. Imagine going to the shopping mall to shop your clothes with your friends, with your sisters. I had that feeling that I was with my friends. I was very comfortable. They could pick my style. I could get advice from them. So it's been very warm and nice. Yeah, because apart from just getting clothes, there are also some trainings to help you in your skill, to acquire some skills, to acquire knowledge, to also help you to gain some experience, to be able to transition into the workforce here in Canada. So generally, it's equipped me. I'm more confident than when I came, and I believe there are more knowledge I can acquire, and it has really boosted my confidence. It has really made me know that yes, I can easily transition and cope in the Canadian society. Definitely, I recommend women to come here, especially women of color, Africans. Most people shy away thinking, oh, will they be able to adjust? Will they be able to meet their needs? I would like to say yes, it's a good call. No matter your size, your age, your body structure, they have something to suit you. They have professionals willing to work and study your style. So I recommend everyone to be here. I'd like to say thank you, and I'd like to say thank you for making it possible for women, to look smart in the workplace and to build confidence in women, no matter their color, no matter their culture, no matter their ethnicity.
After making Changes Association, we decided to find another organization that helps women achieve their full potential in our city. The second place we would like to tell you about is Calgary Immigrant Women's Association. This organization has been supporting immigrant and refugee women, girls, and their families for a long time in Calgary. SIVA Settlement and Integration Manager Celestina is going to talk about her non-profit organization. She has been working in this culturally diverse settlement agency for 12 years, and she's the right person to ask about how the center addresses the concerns and needs of immigrant and refugee women, girls, and their families.
So my name is Celestina Akikomi. I'm the Settlement and Integration Department Manager here at Calgary Immigrant Women's Association, commonly known as SIWA. So SIWA is a not-for-profit that serves immigrant women, refugee girls, seniors, and their families. We have over 55 programs that support the settlement and integration journey of immigrant women, girls, and their families. Currently, since April 1st of 2022 to date, we've served over 12,000 women and counting. So it is a very robust suite of services that we offer. So over 40 years ago, we've just recently done our 40-year gala last year. So over 40 years ago, there were a group of women who met in a little place off, if I remember, close to the University of Calgary, and what they did was just have conversation circles, meet to have those arts and craft moments and just to gather together. So the basis on which SIWA is formed has always been on the principle of friendship, the ability to just support women. They came together just wanting to support each other, just to offer that peer-to-peer support for each other, and over time it's grown into this organization that you see today. So from one group of women meeting together to over 50 programs today is pretty much amazing. We're looking for ways to support women and to ensure that they attain some level of independence or some level, or just depending on what they come to SIWA with. People come through these doors with various needs. It could be employment, it could be settlement support, just basic needs services. It could be access to language. It could be that there is an issue in the home and the woman needs support in understanding what those cultural nuances are in Calgary versus what she's coming from her home country with. So for our parenting programs, especially the cross-cultural parenting program, I honestly believe that's one of the best programs that is out there, because everybody coming from different parts of the world have their own concept of what parenting is like. And it could be from people being able to offer corporal punishment depending on where they are coming from, and in their countries it's okay, but when you come to Canada, that's not okay. So when you have a program like SIWA that is able to help you understand the cultural nuances that Canada is expecting you to follow through, as well as having your own cultural beliefs without having to disregard your entire culture or your customs, but being able to marry both and see how you can respect the country in which you're making your new home without losing your own sense of self. So SIWA's Settlement and Integration Program is one of the programs that is available at SIWA. And the actual official name for that particular program is called Intake, Settlement and Referral. And what that program does is meet with the client. When the client walks through the doors, they are matched with their counselor based on their language, because language is a huge barrier for a lot of women that we meet, and we have counselors who speak over 14 languages. So you're matched with a counselor based on your language need, and if we don't have a counselor that speaks your language and you're heavily barriered, we're able to utilize the services of an interpreter. We are more than able to receive the Ukrainians who have been arriving to SIWA. All programs and services are available to them. There is a dedicated pre-employment skill support for Ukrainian women who come through our doors as well, where we help them with their resumes, get it in order, and then put them through networking breakfast events as well, so that they can meet with potential employers. We invite them to job fair. We've been able to hire some Ukrainian women ourselves, and we hope to continue to offer that support for as long as it is needed. Yeah, so there is one-on-one counseling that is offered at SIWA, and one-on-one counseling offers counseling from a culturally sensitive approach. So, and we use trauma-informed practices as well to offer that support to women. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. Like I mentioned, when it comes to trauma or mental illness or any associated issues with things that people have been through, it is very difficult for you to self-identify or to identify for a client or to self-appoint a client to go into counseling. Once a client is comfortable with their counselor and they're able to speak to them about the services that they need, then they are referred to the appropriate services. So gender-based violence is something that is very near and dear to the heart of SIWA, just because of how we know how much it impacts a lot of immigrant families that move to Canada. Gender-based violence, including intimate partner violence, has been something that we've been promoting. We've been looking for programming or ensuring that we have programming that actually stops this or brings an awareness to it to the entire society at large. The idea is to actually not just create culturally sensitive materials, but it's also to ensure that we're letting the community know that this is something that is out there and what are the ways that we can reduce or totally eliminate gender-based violence from our society. For me, it's just hoping that every woman is able to succeed. That's why I do the work that I do. When I come to work every day, it's not about me per se, it's about every single person who is walking through these doors and how we're able to help them bridge those gaps that are in the way of their settlement and integration journeys. I don't want to see anybody left behind. My ultimate goal is that every goal that a woman sets for herself, if I'm able to help her attain that goal, then my work is complete.
In Calgary, there are so many places that were created to help women who have to struggle with difficult life situations. Making Changes Association and SIWA are the centers that have been empowering women by building on their capabilities and strengths and encouraging their beliefs in their own ability to make positive change. We know that there are thousands of displaced women coming to Calgary in search of a better life. We know that they have seen some terrible things that made them leave their country. However, we also know that they always ask for help, and there are a lot of people who are ready to support them in this difficult time. Thank you, kind-hearted Albertans. What you are doing will never be forgotten.